Welcome to Messages from the Universe with Lori Wondra. Lori is an internationally renowned psychic medium, author, and shamanic practitioner, sharing insights from angels, guides, wisdom keepers, and teachers of the universe that help you navigate life's mysteries and transformations.
Hello, I am Lori Wondra, and thank you for listening. I'm wondering if you've ever heard the phrase star feeding, or perhaps you've come across the idea that ancient cultures believed they were in relationship with the stars, that there was an exchange happening, a reciprocity. Well, today, let's step into that conversation that is both ancient and incredibly relevant for where we are right now. A conversation about our relationship with the stars, not just as distant lights in the sky, but as something far more intimate, far more connected, and certainly far more alive. Today, I want to explore that not from a place of ritual instruction or borrowing traditions, but from a place of understanding, remembrance, and awareness. Because what if this idea isn't symbolic at all? What if it's describing something very real, something energetic, something we are still participating in, whether we realize it or not? Now, across many ancient cultures, there was a shared understanding that humans were not separate from the cosmos. They're part of it. The stars were not out there. They were part of a living system that included Earth, nature, animals, and of course us. And in many traditions, the stars were seen as ancestors, guides, origin points, conscious intelligence, and perhaps most importantly, they were part of a relationship, not worship, not hierarchy, but relationship. And that's very different from how we often think today. Modern culture has largely shifted into observation instead of participation, and analysis instead of connection, and distance instead of relationship. And when we study the stars, we usually map them, we measure them, but we don't often ask, what is our relationship to them? Are we still in communication? Is there still an exchange happening between the cosmos and us? Because in ancient understanding, there always was. At the heart of this idea is something very, very important, and that's the concept of reciprocity. Now, reciprocity, the understanding that life is not one directional. It's not just take, consume, then move on. It is receive, give, and participate. It's a cycle. We can understand this easily with Earth. The Earth feeds us, and in return, we are asked to take care of her. There is a natural exchange, but what if that same principle exists beyond Earth? What if the stars give, and we, in our own way, also give back to the stars? Now, not in a physical sense, but in an energetic one, because everything is energy, everything is frequency, and everything is always in motion. So what does it mean to feed the stars? So let's break that down in a grounded, accessible way. Because when we talk about feeding the stars, we're not talking about physical food or literal nourishment. We're talking about frequency, energy, consciousness, what you think, what you feel, what you emit in your vibration. These are not contained within your body. They radiate outward, they move, they interact with the field around us, and that's the larger field. Science even supports this in part. The body emits electromagnetic fields. The heart has a measurable energetic field, and brain waves extend far beyond the physical body. So now ask yourself, what are you contributing to the field around you? Because the field doesn't stop at your skin. It extends outward and outward and outward. So feeding the stars becomes a way of describing the energy that we contribute to the greater cosmic field. And that's such a great statement. I'm going to say it again. Feeding the stars becomes a way for us to describe the energy we contribute to the greater cosmic field. And you are made up of stars. Here's where science and spirituality meet beautifully. You've likely heard this before, that we're made of stardust. And this is not poetic language, it's scientific. The elements that make up your body, carbon, oxygen, nitrogen, iron, were formed in stars. That means your body is literally made from star matter. So when we talk about relationship, it's not a metaphor, it's origin. You are not separate from the stars. You are an extension of them, which raises a really powerful question. If we came from the stars, are we still in relationship with them? Let's take a closer look at consciousness as a contribution. So if everything is energy and everything emits frequency, then your state of being matters. You matter, not just for your life, but for the collective field of energy. Think about this. When you are in fear, anger, chaos, or disconnection, that energy doesn't stay contained. It's not just about you. It's contributed to the field. And when you're in love and gratitude and presence and awareness, well, that also contributes to the field of energy. So the question becomes, what are we collectively feeding into the field? Because if we extend this idea outward, human consciousness itself becomes part of a larger exchange, not just on Earth, but within the greater system that we belong to. And I believe where we are right now, we're required or asked of the universe to contribute more love, more light, more hope, more kindness, to contribute that to the force field of energy. And I know with recent global events, it's very difficult to do, but it's really an ask of the universe. One of the biggest shifts in modern life is that we've become disconnected. It is our disconnection. We've moved indoors into artificial light and away from the natural rhythms of nature. Many people rarely look at the night sky anymore. We forget we are of the cosmos. Many of you might face light pollution, so you can't see the stars, so you forget. And we forget to connect to Mother Earth, to the moon, to the stars, to the planets. We seem to have to be reminded, and we have to work at just being grounded and remembering something that is so natural to us. It's part of our DNA. Some even tell me that when they do look to the skies, they don't feel connected to it at all. They feel small or separate, or it's something out there, very separate from something here or something within. But ancient cultures didn't feel small under the stars. They felt connected and guided and very much part of something vast and intelligent. That shift from connection to separation changes everything. Because when we feel separate, we stop participating consciously. We stop recognizing our impact. We forget our place in the whole of humanity and the whole of the cosmic universe. Some of my personal greatest times of expansion and attunement and knowledge has come when I've slept out under the stars or sat under the stars, just being present, not having to do anything or having any expectation of taking, but just being. Now the moon, the seven sisters, and this moment of cosmic reunion, let's talk about that, because there's moments in the sky that quietly remind us of this connection. Have you heard of the seven sisters, the Palladian cluster of stars? The universe's reminders don't have to be loud. They don't have to be dramatic. I tend to like them to be more gentle, almost like a whisper. We understand that the moon travels its own path and it moves through its phases, its cycles, its continual of becoming. While now, nearby, the seven sisters shimmer softly in the skies. And the seven sisters, known astronomically as the Pleiades, have been long recognized across cultures for thousands of years. They're not just stars. They are a story, a memory, navigation, and wisdom. And across traditions, they've been seen as guides and watchers and keepers of knowledge and points of origin. So what's so powerful about this? Well, the moon does not always align perfectly with them. It moves on its own path. And yet, there are moments when the moon passes near Pleiades, not merging with the moon, not becoming the same, but becoming into proximity. And in those moments, we are given a reflection of something deeply human. That even when we're not perfectly aligned, even when we're moving through our own cycles, we're still part of the same sky. And there are moments to notice, and I bring them up because there was a window of opportunity of noticing and being in this energetic alignment March 20th and 21st, which was the spring equinox. And we moved into Aries season. And the next opportunity is April 16th and 17th and May 13th and 14th. These are when the moon interacts. These are times when the moon passes near the Pleiades in the sky. And while this is an astronomical event, it's also an energetic invitation because when we witness this, whether physically or simply by awareness, we are reminded that movement and stillness can coexist, that independence and connections are not opposites, and that we can be on our own path and still belong. And I look at the deeper meaning of what the universe is teaching us and what this interaction brings to us is that the Pleiades energy carries a very symbolic resonance that shows up again and again across cultures, a sense of origin, guidance, ancient memory, and quiet intelligence. And when the moon, representing emotion, intuition, and inner cycles passes near them, we can feel intuition meeting memory, the knowing, the remembering, the present moment touching something very ancient. We bring that ancient wisdom and that ancient knowledge to present day. Light recognizes light, and at this time, we can recognize that there's something up with the energy in the universe. I don't know what it is, but I just feel there's something up. There are moments when the universe doesn't need to speak loudly to be heard, and this is one of those times. And why does this matter to us? Because we live in a world that often tells us, you need to be aligned all the time. You need to have it all figured out. You need to be on track. But the sky shows us something different. The moon does not rush to align. It does not force connection. It moves in its own rhythm, and it trusts its own rhythm. It provides illumination for us to see a path, but then once we see that path, we still have a choice to choose the path or not choose it. The moon shows us it moves in rhythm and meets the stars wherever they are. It doesn't try to change them. So what's the reflection in your life? Where in your life have you felt out of alignment, off your path, disconnected? And what if you are not off at all? What if you are simply in your motion, your cycle, in becoming? And connection is not something you force. It is something that naturally occurs as you continue moving in your truth. This reframing is actually a return to our awareness. This doesn't require complexity, and it doesn't require ritual or ceremony. It just simply requires awareness. Looking up at the sky and remembering, feeling your breath and recognizing you are part of something vast. You are not separate from here to there. You are of all of it. Choosing your thoughts more consciously, choosing how you respond to life, because when you do that, you shift what you contribute. And when enough people shift, the field shifts. So today, I invite you to consider this. You are not beneath the stars. You're not separate from them. You are part of a living exchange, a frequency, an energy, a vibration, a relationship that has always existed. And whether you realize it or not, you're already participating. And the question is, for you, are you doing it consciously? Thank you for being here with me today. Thank you for your presence. your awareness, and the energy you bring into this world. You are energy, your vibration. You matter. And as always, the universe is speaking, and all you have to do is be present. I'm Lori Wondra of Your Life Core, and thank you for listening.
Thank you for listening to Messages from the Universe. For information about Lori Wondra's current events or to schedule a private session, visit her website, yourlifecore.com. You can also subscribe to her monthly newsletter. Lori also shares inspirational and informational messages on Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn. Thanks again for listening.